Yeah, what's up, YouTube? I want to do a quick addition to the video I did on why I don't recognize the Black Womanhood Sisterhood Collective. Because I think, from what I've read, because I just got home from work and I'm reading the comments, I think some of the women may be unclear of my definition. When I talk about a brotherhood, I'm talking about a brotherhood of productive black men. I'm not so much concerned with where you're from in terms of the inner city or the suburbs, because if you are working hard and you're trying to, hold down a family and just do things the right way, we're going to be connected, right? I don't care where you're from. That's why I'm so big on not having this divide between the inner city black man and the suburb black man, or whatever you want to call it. Because I feel like if you're handling your business, right, we're going to be going through the same sort of struggle. So how could we not, form some sort of brotherhood, whether it's physical or, whether it's, I don't know, through spirit or whatever you want to call it, right? If something happens to a blue-collar black man who I know is trying to hold down, his end of the bargain and do his right thing, right, I'm going to identify with him. And hopefully, if I'm going through the same thing in, a white-collar type of position, hopefully he understands where I'm coming from. And like I said before, we can share our experiences and help each other get through it. So that's the brotherhood I'm talking about. I'm not talking about men who define themselves solely off of where they're from, right? This whole idea of the hardcore inner city dude versus the dude, the thug type dude versus Theo Huxtable. I'm not talking about that. Of course there's going to be an issue there. But like I said before, I'm more so concerned about men who can transcend this whole idea of where they're from, and that's part of the brotherhood. And to be honest with you, I think that a lot of black women would have the same issue in regards to inner city black women versus black women who grew up in the suburbs. It's just that women haven't explored it. So I'm curious to see how women feel about that. Because to me, I haven't really heard women talk about it. It's one of the things that I would like black women to talk about amongst themselves. There's a lot of things that I would like black women to talk to other black women about. I don't care if it's behind closed doors, but it needs to happen. We as black men, we tend to have conversations that we don't like. Hence the whole idea of a brotherhood. You can eat together, have fun together, but you also have to get on each other, and really question each other and critique each other, not to hold anybody down, but to make everybody better. That's why I say I recognize the brotherhood. See, we can stand together, but we're more than willing to accept our part when things go wrong. Even just amongst my friends, we praise each other, but we get on each other. You're not working hard enough. Oh, you should do this. Oh, you shouldn't have said that. We try not to get too involved in terms of how they deal with women because, it really is personal. But of course, if I see another brother with a girlfriend, right, and he's acting out of pocket, I'm going to say something. But at the end of the day, it's touchy-touchy because I know how men have their own reasons to how they treat women, and sometimes they feel justified in that. But if I know a dude has a good girl and I know the girl, of course I'm going to get on him in terms of what he should be doing and what he shouldn't be doing. So to me, like I said before, I have a lot of reasons to why I support the brotherhood. But in regards to the sisterhood, which is also the collection of quote-unquote black women who get it, right, I'm saying that you guys don't stick together. I understand if you put black women from different backgrounds and, black women who may have this together, who may not have this together, there's going to be some sort of issue. But I'm speaking to the women who say that they're the productive ones. I'm saying that I don't recognize your collective group because it falls apart when you get attacked. To me, you don't stick together. And I'm saying, so that's one. And reason two, I'm saying it falls apart when you're dealing with men. I've seen educated black women rely on looks, whether it's lighter skin or smooth chocolate skin, hair, certain features, certain body parts. And to me, if there was really this sisterhood, a light-skinned woman should be offended if a man says, "Ooh, I love your skin," or "I love your long, silky hair." How dare you? Because it's like, how dare you promote me over my other sister just because she may be of a different skin color or have different features? How dare you? If you're going to value me, choose me for more than my physical. But far too many times I've seen women who will rely, quote-unquote women who are part of the sisterhood, rely on how they look physically. Like I said, whether it's skin color, whether it's features, whether it's height, whether it's, body shape. I've seen it. Okay? Even with children. Okay, because there's a lot of women in the sisterhood who demand to be in the sisterhood with children, and that's fine. But yet again, I've seen black women who are part of the same sisterhood, okay, who don't have children say, hey, I'm a better candidate because I don't have any children. Now, to me, if there was a sisterhood, there shouldn't be this whole idea of choose me because I don't have any kids. I should hear, how dare you, right? Just because I don't have kids, my sister does. How dare you? To be real with you, I don't want a woman to pick me over another productive black dude because I have more money. At the end of the day, if he can hold it down and I can hold it down, hey, we're equal. Choose me on something more. Right? Choose me based off of something else we can identify over. But don't choose me because I have more money. Don't choose me because I'm taller. Choose me because we click on a different level. But I'm not going to undercut another black man who's doing everything he can just because I may have more money or because I have this job or drive this car. I'm not going to do it. That's not how we get down. So that's why I'm saying I don't necessarily recognize it. I'm not trying to include every last single black person. I'm talking about the black people who quote unquote say that they're productive and the black people who say they get it. And like I said before, to me the ultimate mark of the sisterhood is how well you guys stick together when that critique comes your way. Like I said before, black men, we tend to stay together, the productive ones, when we get accused of something. The problem, it's not that black men are trying to deflect or, some of the things that we did wrong. We just want people to be accurate. We don't want people to put extras on it. That's all. So accuse me of, 10 different things, that's fine, but don't come to me with a whole list of, hundreds of things when really, I'm only guilty of 20. Let me take my 20, we'll take it like men and see what we can do and try to come up with a solution. So that's where we get upset. But when we have our critiques with black women, they separate. It's not me, it's not all of us, and I never said it's all of you. I'm talking to the ones who say they're productive, the ones who say they qualify. I'm not saying you guys stick together. I'm saying that you guys don't stick together. Only when it's praise, when we're saying how great you are, which, yes, that needs to happen more, do you guys stick together. Only when we talk about the struggle of black women do you guys stick together. Only when we talk about what black men are not doing do you stick together. But when the coin is flipped, and we have our critiques on what you're not doing, then it breaks apart. It's not me, you're generalizing, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, then you guys are separating. You're separating. So anyways, hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. This is kind of an addition to the video I just did, because I read the comments, like I said, when I got back home. And I want to make sure that people understand where I'm coming from in terms of my definition, because I could have did a better job at really defining who is in this sisterhood and who is in this brotherhood. All right, so you guys take it easy. God bless.